Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Business Spotlight. I am Scott McMeans with Action Coach, and I am here with Chip Hautala from Motion Source. And we're going to spend a few minutes learning about his success, learning about his business, and some of the amazing community involvement that the company has. So, Chip, take the opportunity here and introduce yourself to the audience and let us know a little bit about yourself and how Motion Source came to be.
Okay. Um, well, I'm Chip Hautala. I'm the founder and CEO of Motion Source International in Solon, Ohio. I'm been a C-level executive for probably 25 years now. Prior to this, I was with another company where I was CIO and CFO, and prior to that, I owned my own company as well, a computer company. But reason we started Motion Source is in 2012, I was working, as I said, for another similar company, and I just saw from some of the other companies that I had worked at flaws and holes in the way things were done, and more or less treating customers and employees as like a necessary nuisance. And I thought there was a better way to do it, and so that's what we strove for.
I love it. So let me walk you down a little bit of a different path when it comes to what makes Motion Source different than the competition. And let us know what industry that you serve and the type of customers. You don't need to name any names of your customers. I don't want that. Unless you want to, you're more welcome to. But I'm curious to learn about the type of business that you're in and what separates you from competition.
Okay. We're a distributor for industrial lubrication equipment and hydraulic equipment. We also engineer projects for people, and you can't find an industry that does not use what we sell. It's a niche industry, but everything for us, what's big is the rubber industry is huge, food and beverage, paper and packaging, energy, auto, and steel. And those are the main six, if that was six, that we serve. And what separates us from the competition, I think, is a number of things. Number one, we have a very educated team here. Everyone is certified in everything that we sell. So whether you reach somebody in customer service, your salesperson, or an engineer, you're going to get someone who knows you're going to get the right answer the first time. And if they don't know the answer, they're going to call technical support and get the right answer. Another thing we pride ourselves on is it takes our competition often a week to get back to people on a quote. Our goal is to quote you within 20 minutes. So, and oftentimes
Wow.
we'll quote you while you're on the phone. Sometimes we have a reseller that has a customer they need to get back to, or sometimes it's a matter of an engineer needing a part, knowing if he can get it tomorrow. So, we strive to get back to you within 20 minutes. So, and then I think lastly, the thing that distinguishes us, I don't know, it was unintentional. I don't know if it wasn't planned, but it is a very male-dominated industry, and most of our sales staff is female, and in fact, our two top salespeople are female. So that makes us a little bit different too. Although I wouldn't say it's an advantage or a disadvantage; it's just different.
Well, sometimes being different is the advantage, right? And I like the idea. I'll be honest with you, Chip. I interview a lot of people, and there's a lot of fluff that comes from the question, what do you do that separates you from competition? And when somebody typically says, well, our service is so much better, everybody says our service is better.
Yeah.
You have a distinct marketed differentiation between you and everybody else. You get back to them with a quote or an answer within 20 minutes. That is a distinguishable difference. And I like that. I appreciate you being able to do that, not only to market yourself, but your customers, I'm assuming, really appreciate that. Right.
Definitely.
So it's easy because as we talk about some stuff, it's always easy to listen to somebody say, well, our service is so much better. Well, how do you qualify that? What is the quantifier or the qualifier that allows you to say your service is better? Yours is straightforward. We will get back to you in 20 minutes. And rarely do people have that level of metrics. So kudos to you. How did and the diverse talent that you have in your workforce is exceptional because again, it separates you. And I like the idea that you said everybody in the organization is certified in the products that you sell. So the person is going to get an answer when they call, and they're going to get an answer quickly compared to your competition. So that's a really good way to separate yourself.
Yeah, when we bring in a new salesperson or a new customer service person, they're not even on the phone for the first few months because they're going through training and getting their certifications on everything.
I would assume, leading into my next question, training is a big part of your culture. So explain a little bit about the environment at Motion Source. How is it that you find the talent? How do you retain your talent? Walk me through a little bit of the operational side of Motion Source in a way that you do have a solid team. And it sounds like a very solid, diverse team as well. I'm just curious, what do you guys do that create such a great environment?
That's a great question. We hire for culture. We don't hire for experience here. There's nothing that we do here that's rocket science. So we can teach you what you need to know in order to succeed. It's important that you fit the culture. Our company motto that we have hanging in our front office says, nobody wins unless everybody wins. And so we have a very much a team here, and we help each other. Even though the salespeople are commissioned, they help each other out, and they work with each other. And we've got a great sales manager, and that's important. The other part, I think, where we retain people, I'm not going to get the quote exactly right, but Richard Branson once said, train your people that they can leave and go anywhere they want, but treat them so they'll never want to leave. And that's what we try to do here.
And I appreciate that. I'm sure your staff does as well. Are there any, I don't want you to give away any secrets, but is there anything that you can pinpoint that says, we do this and we know we do this differently than anybody else when it comes to the culture, right? Because I love the nobody wins unless everybody wins motto. And it projects a spirit that everybody can get behind. And it's a very solid part of creating a great company, in particular along the lines of culture. I'm just curious, is there something else or is there anything else you would say? This is the Motion Source culture, and this is why we're successful.
Well, the Motion Source culture, I'm an old ball player, and we run this kind of like a ball team, really, a baseball team. And, everybody works together. Sometimes you're the guy that's going to lay down a bunt. Sometimes you're going to be the guy that hits behind the runner. Sometimes you're going to swing for the fences. So there's always somebody to back you up. There's always somebody to pick you up. Teamwork is just hugely important here. And I've had people interview in the past that were lone wolves that wanted to go off on their own. It's like, probably would have done well, but not in this environment. Everybody works together here. So,
I like it.
That's pretty much it.
That's good. No lone wolves is another really good motto to go with because it just embodies somebody knowing what they're going to get into before they join your organization, right? So if they know going in, these are the rules of the game, that really helps acquire and maintain the right talent.
And the other thing is too, what I always tell people before they start, I always say, we want you to have a long career. Okay. So as long as you don't quit on me, I promise you I'll never quit on you. So we don't, we're very, very slow to ever get rid of anybody because we're slow to hire people too. I mean, it's a process to go through to be hired, but then we don't, as long as you don't quit. I've had success stories that have come from that. We had a salesperson who was not doing well, and I lost money on her in the first year. But she just wouldn't quit. And she kept asking, "Are you going to fire me?" And I said, "No, because you haven't quit yet. Why would I fire you? Why would I get rid of you?"
Mm.
And she turned into a very productive salesperson.
That's a great story.
Oh,
That's a
thank you.
great that well, Chip, that is a great way to entrust your people and they in turn trust in you.
Mhm.
It's a great way to create an environment where, and you, I wrote this down, um, you run it like a ball club. I pick you up when you needed, you pick me up when I need it, and together we're a successful team.
Yep.
That's a fantastic philosophy. I want to kind of roll that into your philosophy towards community involvement. Um, there's a lot of notation on your website. If anybody is interested, please visit the website and learn all the great things that they do. But walk me through a little bit or talk about some of your community involvement and why that's such a near and dear piece of what Motion Source is all about.
Well, I think anybody can start a business, anybody can run a business, but you have to have something lasting that you can give back to the community. So a portion of our sales goes to a number of different charities. And we also encourage one of the things when an employee comes on board with us, we give you an extra day per year. I'm sorry, an extra day every 6 months, so 2 per year to go spend at the charity of your choice. So, and where that came from is when I was a much younger man, I wanted to donate to charities, but I really wasn't able to. I didn't have the money to do that. And so I donated my time and I would work for Habitat for Humanity. And I would have to take vacation days from work to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you know what? If I ever start my own company, people can have off for those days because that's important. And it's important for everybody to feel that they're giving back to
Mm-hmm.
someone or something.
Well, I think, Chip, what you've done is you've created a source for somebody to find their own character and the means by which to pursue something they feel very strongly about. And that is such a strong, probably one of the most strong parts of your character, in that you have people embracing being a part of something bigger than themselves, whether it's the company or the community that they want to be involved in. You have set a tone that says, we are here together working, but we all are here to serve something bigger than ourselves. And I think that's some
Mhm.
tremendous, tremendous thing you've done.
Thank you.
It's a great culture, and they slide right with each other. So kudos to you on that. I wanted to kind of go in some of the things in a different area. What are some of the challenges that you face in your business that somebody can listen to and maybe get a little bit of education on? Okay, there's a challenge that they have admissions or Motion Source. I can learn from this. So, what are some of the things, Chip, that you guys as an organization have found to be some of the more challenging parts of running the business?
Developing a strong team, I think. I mean, I think that's the toughest part of any,
Mm-hmm.
especially a startup business. I mean, that's the toughest part is developing a strong team that you can count on. Um, from a more business perspective, daily business. Um, since COVID, it's been very difficult, long lead times from suppliers and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So the way we've alleviated that is bringing more stock in. We have hundreds of thousands of items in stock. So literally, we ship most items the same day to our customers. Um, it took a little more on our part to do that. However, nobody wants to hear that pumps, it's going to be 12 weeks for that. Well, my machine is down now, well, I'm sorry, it's going to be down for another 12 weeks. So we have the inventory here where we're able to ship it out and on most items the same day. So I think that is a good way to solve that problem. And then developing a team, the way to solve that problem is, like I said before, hire on culture. Don't make the mistake of and stick to your guns on that. If somebody might be a great performer, you can tell in an interview, and they have the resume and the numbers to back it up.
Mhm.
However, if they don't fit the culture, eventually you're going to lose somebody who's already there, or you're going to lose them, and it's just not worth it. And don't hire extended family or close friends. That never works out.
Oh, that's good. Extended family or close friends. Okay. I like it. So you've got quite an organization going on, and you've got a lot of success stories. And I know I think it's a testament to what you've done from your former life and the lessons that you've learned. What are some of the other lessons that you think are the most prominent in your career that have led you to the place you are now? Right?
Well, very simply, I had a lot of bad bosses when I was before I owned a company, and I learned a lot through that. I mean, how to treat people by how not to treat people. That was a huge a huge part of it. And I have people who haven't worked for me for 10 years and still send Christmas cards, still call up to see how we're doing and things like that. And we invite them to all the events here as well. So we have a Cinco de Mayo party every year. We have a golf outing and things like that. And former employees are always invited.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Chip, before we close down, this has been a great run. I really appreciate you taking time to explain what you're
Thank
all about at Motion Source, and this is some great detail. Last question for you. If you were to go back in time and talk to a 18-year-old Chip, what would you tell him?
That's a good question. Um, I'd say number one, relax. Things are going to work out. Number two, you're going to have a lot of fun. So get ready for a lot of fun. And three, and this is something I learned in time, don't take anything personally.
Mm.
At the end of the day, the greatest freedom in the world is when you don't care what other people think of you, right? And at the end of the day, be yourself and don't worry about other people. You got your immediate family. I always say, as long as my wife and my dogs love me, I'm okay.
I love it. And it's interesting. And hear me out. I think the words, the greatest freedom you can find is when you stop caring what other people think of you, which is a huge thing. I appreciate that, which is such a different perspective, Chip, than the person that's sitting in front of me on camera when I realize all the great, wonderful things you've done to make sure everybody else feels good about themselves.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
it's impressive. Yeah.
Thank
And to your point, everybody else's opinion of you is none of your business. Just keep doing the things that you're good at
you.
and
Yep.
keep doing the things that make you money. And with that, I'm going to thank you for an amazing uh, business spotlight interview. It's been
Thank
a
you,
pleasure.
Scott. I appreciate it.
it.
Thank you. Take
Yeah.
care.
So all the information, website, all that will be down below in the description. So please take a click and learn a little bit about Motion Source and see their community involvement. I highly recommend you get a chance to take a look at their webpage and the great things that they're doing and allowing their employees to go ahead and be a participant in community service as well. So thank you so much. And we'll see you all on the next episode of the Business Spotlight.